Well, hello, and welcome back to Looking It. It's going to be a bit of an ad hoc one. Although I had planned to get this started, we're having some mild technical difficulties. But we shall see how it goes. Attempting to do a few things behind the scenes, so talk amongst yourselves. Lack of preparedness. Okay, right, back of the here we go. So, it's time to transfer over a few of the new, or my older modules onto the new modules, and yet, foolishly, I haven't got any of the module bases with me. So, I'm going to go through which ones I'm going to decide to work with. So I can go for Ravenclaw. I kind of want to get that done because all the other common rooms are already up in the castle. I can go for Defense Against the Dark Arts, my only double-sized module width-wise. Herbology, which I've already started stealing a few parts from. Get that one done. Transfiguration, which has got the fancy back wall, so that one's going to take a little bit of thinking about. There's my newest classroom arithmancy. We can do History of Magic, Professor Binns appearing through the Blackboard, and of course Charms, which is another one that's going to take a bit of thinking about, because of course it goes the full 16 wide. And there's Divination, which is my double height module. We will see how it goes. I'm going to grab my base plates for my builds and we can get started. Here we go. As there's no one here to express a preference of what we'll start with, I think I'm going to choose Herbology as our first transfer. So we've got a bunch here. I'm just going to start transferring the important bits of Herbology over. So obviously the sidewalls aren't going to be included because they're going to be built into the MOC already. So I just have to basically transfer the back wall and the internal details. So a bit smaller. Let's see if this potting bed will come off all in one, and it will not. Give me a nice chance to remember how I built these things. Let's get these all lined in properly. I think that looks right. One to start with, because I don't know if I want this one on a tan base plate. I kind of like it on the olive, but I haven't got any olive that's the right size. We'll see how long this takes. If it's nice and quick, then I might be able to transfer it over yet again. Transpose the minifigs over. Should be fairly easy. You're going to lose that bit bit of vine there. Okay, first issue is I use the 1x16 for the bottom, so we've just got to change some bricks. That's easy enough. We'll nick this 1x14 from History of Magic. We'll do the 1x16 as well. Now hopefully this should all go one whole piece, and it does. Excellent. This is the mainstay of Herbology transferred already. Obviously the side walls of each module will be formed, they'll be already in place. So this is only all I'll need to transfer over. Press the sprout in there. We just need to sort out these lanterns. Now, just got to get a height measurement. Just one moment. So we're going to use Snape's office as the arbiter of height. We need to make sure that everything is no taller than that. So it appears I've still got 2 plates to play with height-wise. That's good. I can put the rafters in going across, which they're hanging from, and still have a plate there on top where I can lock that in on top. I don't know if I need them going all the way out. Obviously they were locked to the front wall previously, and there's not going to be a front wall support. So I might go shorter on that, just so I don't get any clashes or conflicts. Just going to try and pop a 1x6 in there, and we'll get any handy. Let's just see how this one looks. The lantern on the end. Yeah, that's kind of the look I want. That's pretty much perfect. Okay, so now I need to find another 1x6 in tan. So my part selection has been devastated by doing this build. And I don't just mean by means of quantity, but also it's scattered entirely across my build space. Everything's everywhere. I knew it was when I was building the superstructure. Everything was in arm's reach, but nothing was organised properly. It was very much an intuitive build. I just kind of went for it. But now that I'm needing to do something a bit more, filling under there, so we need a 1x3. That's going to be tricky to find. Do it the old standby way, 1x2, and wang a 1x1 in there. So now these first few bits of this live stream are going to be the Wild West as much as gathering parts. So I got all the bits I thought I'd need. That doesn't mean I got all the bits I'd actually need. I'm not filming in the build space at the moment because it's frankly a nightmare. Completely impractical space to film in at the moment. So what do I want? 1x5s and a 1x6. Oh, and those 2 1x1s. Give me just a moment. Tray of 1x1s. Put the tan in here, we do. It's a miracle. I need to go across there. Got a handy 1x6 my new MOC, being that they slide in and out past other MOCs, other levels, you've actually got, can sometimes get a bit of conflict or increased friction at the corners, like that. I've got it locked in. These first few are going to be a bit hit and miss initially, but hopefully I'll get into a workflow fairly quickly, and we'll all be good. Did I bring my angles? No, of course I didn't. So I'm going to do this one a little bit differently. I'm just going to use cheese slips, I hope, he says. He's got some dark tan cheese slips. There we go. Now, you're more than welcome to ask any questions you want in the chat. I do have the chat open next to me because I'm watching my builds. I don't know how interactive I'm going to be. And for the life of me, I can't think of anything may be of interest to you, but you are more than welcome to ask. I think we are creeping up on the completion of my first module. Now they are going to be a little bit flimsy. They're not going to be as sturdy as the previous versions, but then they're not structural. These are purely window dressing version. Sorry. Oh, hi, legendary Rover. Thank you very much. I'm the best. Well, I don't know about that, but I will try and live up to that moniker, definitely. So here is Herbology, nearly done. I've got to get Professor Sprout. She's currently standing in her spot in Hogwarts, taking up a bit of space so I remember where to put her. Just got to tile off these tops. I don't know if I've got any correct size tiles. This whole work area is going to be a state soon. Started off so clean and tidy. Pristine white background. And soon not. I need yet another choice. Oh, okay. I quite understand. I'm mostly not saying anything very interesting. Just talking so it's not too quiet. Let's get some one by ones. Two studs left and we're going to call it a day on Herbology. Claiming that I'm nearly finished. I bet I am. One tan one by one. Oh, there, I've got one. Excellent. Good. Alright. So that's our Herbology classroom. Now built up. And ready to go into the Hogwarts. Excellent. Quicker than I hoped. Okay, let's tackle another one. I'm going to go for History of Magic, I think. So this one should be a fairly easy transfer. And this wall I'm going to have to do separately. So I do need a side wall, so it's going to go in one of my pop-out builds. Let's start taking this one apart. Coloured detail around the top. I might keep, might not. That's our Blackboard. There it goes coming through it. And if you've seen the build video, you know how that's done. That's just one of those tilt table pieces. Bits and bobs. Again, this sidewall's not needed. Just going to be working with the back walls. Freaked out looking students out of the way. So what am I going to keep on this one? I think I'll keep the big window. They do mention that there's a large window when Hedwig arrives outside History of Magic. The bookshelf I'm probably going to need to rework because that's built into the side wall, or I could just build into the side wall along with that. Let's see if that will come off. Oh, it's a tricky one. Some of it's built into the back wall. Okay, this one may take a bit more thinking about. Let's keep that jumper there for the bust. So my Hogwarts, a bit of history here, originally sprang up from just liking the Hogwarts moments. I hadn't really had any interactions with Lego for a long time, really. Obviously I played with Lego as a kid, and in the early 2000s I worked in a comic shop, and we got a contract to sell Lego, and it was actually Lego Star Wars that got me back into Lego back in '99. So I got the entirety of the original first wave of the Lego Star Wars stuff, and I didn't really know much about the Lego community back then. The internet wasn't as big and popular as it is now, so I'm just a nerdy loser alone in his house with a bunch of kids' toys. But I had them on display in my living room at my parents' house for quite a long time. I moved out and my Lego didn't move with me. I wasn't super emotionally attached to it, I just thought it was something cool, and in the end it all got sold off, so I no longer have it. And just after the pandemic, when I got back into Lego, I really wish I hadn't done that. That's why these older sets are valuable. Really kept them pristine. That's the tiling nearly complete now. Get these all transferred over. I shouldn't think there's going to be too many major problems to solve on a lot of these transfers, because largely I'm working with exactly the same pieces, and the modules are almost exactly the same, just lacking walls integrated to the base, because the walls are built into the new superstructure. So my hope is, my thought is, that these will be fairly easy to transfer over. I'm going to need to change this brick. Largely this wall could all come over as one. Have we got a 1x2 sitting around? We do. Fantastic. Oh, of course. Idiots. We updated it to a smaller footprint. Okay. There's not going to be many problems to solve. It's going to be really easy. Now I'm going to open your mouth before verifying your facts. Right, okay, we've got a 1x8 across here, which is obviously going to need to be replaced with a a 1x6 at best. And I don't know whether I'm going to keep the bookshelf shelf integrated into, obviously the shelf itself is part of the sidewall build. I much prefer it because I don't want. Oh, that's all going to be covered up by that, so it doesn't matter. I haven't got such a thing as a 1x5 tile. Alright, tricky. There is some problems that need to be solved here. Let's do the easy stuff first. First half of that bookshelf. First bit of problem solving. Can I integrate this backwards? Yes, I probably can. By changing some of these 1x1s here for 1x2s. And if I put a snot brick in here, the stud facing sideways. Yes, okay, let's try that. Let's find some snot bricks. Change. So this is my standard bookshelf that I almost always use, just built up with plates and tiles. You can see we've got 1x1s if the light's coming to us, you can see those there. And if I get the spacing right, I could replace those 1x1s with a 1x2 that will then come back and plug into a snot brick. So need to do the Lego maths. Maths with an S. That's 2.5. Okay, might need to change this. This decoration at the top is really only. That's only held together by the 1x3. Okay, interesting. This is a fun one to solve actually. How do we maths to work? So first things first, we need to come up with about 2 plates. I thought I had my plate today. Okay. Are we in the right spot now? These two are level, no, go half a stud out, so I might need to do this job lower down. Well, this is the obvious place to make that attachment because we are at the same brick height. Oh no, it's not really. Think. I could do that. That's the thing I could do. And there we go. Alright, that was easy. That made me think I was going to get very clever about it. All I have to do is take these 2 headlight bricks that I've got lined up for that book cover, plug in one of these. I can do some really impressive Lego problem solving, but no. Simple, just a stud and an anti-stud and it's done. Oh, what a letdown. But also it means I'm not going to be sitting for 20 minutes, not really achieving anything. Okay, so that's the first level plugged in. That means our bookshelf can travel around attached to the front plate and do it. Yes, we've got another pair up here. Solve the same problem the same way twice. Why mess about? Brick. There we go. That in. Now we do need to get this all up to the same level. Untold 1x2s, so we need a couple of those in there. wall. Go on there. Then we need that 1x2 then. Oh no, that's the upper level. Okay. Good. Bottom of the bookshelf is now attached and integrated into the back wall. Okay, that was fun, but has left me with another problem. Obviously I had an attachment stud on this side of the bookshelf previously, which I no longer have. So I'm going to need to use plates as long as I possibly can, just to help this stay stable. And again, none of this is structural, it's all cosmetic. Hopefully, that's fine. Fine, what was I worried about? But I don't know now if I'm going to be able to solve the problem in quite the same way. Yes, it is my History of Magic classroom. Just trying to rebuild the bookshelf that was originally attached to the side wall. Now I used the 2-stud snot brick before, but I think I'm going to have to do one this time. We've got one, yeah. Going there, which means I will need a plate. Be any colour I want. Right, okay, so this should now, and it does. It's almost like I've done the right. So I'm going to have to reconfigure this level of the bookshelf because obviously I'm half a stud off. Should have known that because I'm attaching to an odd numbered stud and it's only even numbers of studs that equal numbers of plates. So that's actually going to make that bottom shelf match the configuration of the top. Oh, that's dull. Alright, how can we solve this? I don't really want the shelves repeating. I wanted that little bit of randomness. Okay, let's see if we can solve that the way we were going to. Oh, we might be able to actually. See if we can do the sideways snot brick. Now that aligns perfectly with the top of that plate, but I want it to align with the bottom of that plate. So we won't use a snot brick, we use a headlight brick. So we now need an anti-stud, not a stud. So there's my headlight bricks. Oh, God, can't get them. Hold on. Well, if I ever bothered to label my dwarves, that would have been a much quicker process. Right, okay, so we're going to try it headlight brick style. Because we're not going to be able to see this wall behind the bookshelf, I should be able to replace this grey 1x2 with a tile sticking out. In fact, let's just rotate it and I can replace it. So I should be able to do that and that, and with a plate under it. Grey one of those sitting there waiting to be used. Fill the book back in. That back on there. And I need a 1x1 to go under the headlight. Have we just solved? We have. Fantastico. Great. Excellent. So that's our bookshelf rebuilt and attached at the back. So obviously I'm going to lose this stud as a connection point because this plate passes through it. But it still gives me one at the end there, so I should be able to get a solid connection across. Just got to build everything up to the right height. So this is 4 studs, so I can use 4 studs, perfect. That there, and then just some standard brick to fill in this hole. I'm going to need a plate layer on top of that. And then, where is the top of my bookshelf? This would be much easier if I was a more tidy builder. honest, it took me a lot of years to realise the most basic thing, and just, if I count, things are much easier. 5 plates across equaling 2 studs across was something that I didn't wrap my head around for a long time, and I just sat here racking my brains for hours and hours. But now if I remember to build on even bricks, plates will match studs and things like that. So it's really just practice and having done it sufficiently over time. And there's the bookshelf rebuilt. Now I thought that was going to be a fail because it had originally been attached by these studs on the side, but I've got it back in. Just need to finish building up this wall now. I think I'm probably going to need a plate layer to secure that in, just to make everything a bit more pulling up. So I'm going to have to integrate that across the top of the windows as well to make sure everything's held nicely. So how tall are we? Where are we at? Let's get our snake's office in. So we've still got 2 full bricks. Yeah, 2 bricks of height to add good, so we can put the funny clock back in. A couple of these. Good. Then across the top of the window there's a 1x8. Still great. So these are still 2 wonky halves though, so I need to get an integration across there. And I want to leave my ends clear so I can put my bevels in the corners. So originally there was a pattern up here, but because I was trying to go all the way around the build, it didn't necessarily fit perfectly. I might just give a nod to my previous one. Let's give it a try. Let's see if it works. I don't know that I've got the right number of studs available. So. No, this isn't going to work, is it? Because that's 1 brick high. I've already made it 4 bricks high. Yes, that's too tall. So if I want that, I'd have to lose that. Losing that. No. Okay, we'll go without that. Shame to lose the pattern. Should we just put a stripe in? Let's just put a stripe in. Back place. Put those. So we may have lost our fancy pattern. At least we've got a bit of colour still in the board of the module. I don't know why I'm trying to maintain fidelity to an old MOC. Really any continuity, other than a little bit of nostalgia. Alright, so 2 more plate layers and then we can start thinking about adding our tops. So what I might do is use the same type, which actually have to come in at this level. There. Just make sure I don't plate all the way to the edge. Oh, exactly the same. Same thing in reverse then. Now, the only thing I'm going to be left with is dozens of these at the end. Obviously they were used to hold my modules together, layer by layer. But now that's not required with the new slide-in style. I've been detailing my recent Vlogwarts series. I actually need to integrate the layers. I can get to any MOC whenever I want. Where have I put my times? Now, there's a good chance that this will dismay a lot of people the way I store my stuff. But, you know, not everything is separated out. These are all, the only thing they've got in common is being dark tan. Some of them are long, short, singles, fours. And it does take a while to look for a particular piece, right? These are just the various tans. All my 1x1 studs are in here. But I don't have infinite space, so I have to make some compromises on how I store things. And a lot of people put a lot of stock in storage solutions being the way forward, and the way you store your Lego will improve your build speed, but really familiarity will improve your build speed. It doesn't matter how you put your storage solution together, even if it's just a big, well, one big tub, that's probably not going to be any good for anybody. But if you're familiar with the way you store things, and I've got a couple of drawers that are just random stuff, bits that there aren't enough of to have their own drawer. But just going through those drawers on a fairly regular basis, just to find a given random part that I need, helps me navigate my collection fairly easily. Right, History of Magic's nearly done. We need to build a separate wall, obviously. I'm going to get on that in a moment. Just need to grab my busts. My bust of my random historical figure, and here's my placeholder in the MOC for this module. Reinserted back into the classroom. So, Professor Bin's coming through the Blackboard. That's going to be a separate wall piece. So, I'm now going to make this as part of a snot-mounted little module that's 7 bricks high, which is 8 studs long, and then so that's going to be coming out from the wall, and then I've got to change the direction of the build to go up so that I can integrate this Blackboard build in, because it involves an archway, so I have to build up from the bottom, otherwise I won't have an archway that will disguise the entry point. So it's going to be a couple of different directions of build on this one. I'm going to start with a plate. Now these will start at this depth here. No, they won't. No, they'll start at this depth here. Right, so the full depth. So I know I've got at least a brick that I need to just make up that space. Now, of all the things that I've used most of during this build, it's long bricks, because that new castle build has taken up a lot of my long bricks just to make sure stability and load was spread across the MOC entire. So that's one brick. This to be about there, nice and central. So obviously that's one brick off the end. That's 2.5 plates, so I might have to make a compromise coming that way half a plate or that way half a plate. We'll see what bricks we can find. Let's see if I can find some long bricks. So, as I said, everything is dumped into various containers. I've got carrier bags full of bits. I've got sandwich trays full of bits. So, as I start looking for parts to add to the MOC, there's going to be a lot of scrunching and crunching, that classic old school Lego sound, searching for a large tub of parts to find the one you need. Hopefully, again, as I get used to navigating the tub, I'll know what bits are in there, and I won't have to make a heck of a racket all the time. So, just going to set what does that say? Make that there. Oh right, so it's exactly the floor level. Good. Right, now I don't really like using the masonry on their side, so they're not even very helpful bricks that I just spent all that time finding. One of these in. How far out space has got? Where do I want to get to? Oh, I'm nearly there. Yeah, that works for me. So I think one more plate layer there. Then I can put my snot bricks in to reverse the direction. I might have to do that right at the bottom of the blackboard. I might have to go straight in there. My direction change. Keep it low. I think I want to keep it right low to the ground as well. Don't you want to go up there? That's too close to the top there, so I'm going to go in there. That'll allow me to tile that off and still put it. Yeah. Sorry, I'm talking in half sentences, like you understand what the heck I'm babbling on about. Another drawer, retrieve. I will fill all of this in. I'm prone to build whole things and then get some detail wrong and have to unbuild just as much as I've built. So I tend to just use bare bones scaffoldings and frameworks just to get my spacings right. We're nearly there. We're 2 plates off, so we need tile on the end. So ideally I would have a 1x8 just sitting here purely by luck, and I do. Excellent. And the end will get tiled off. Right, let's fill in this huge gap with I need plain brick, and I don't have a lot of it left. What am I talking about? I've got all these modules at the back here. I've got loads of plain brick. I'm going to have side walls made of short. Right, rooms, give me a brick. Got anything you can give me? Lovely. Final. Tile. Gap. So I'm going to go 1x6. Needs a tall brick. Oh, too tall. Seriously? Also, another comment, I'm planning on buying a new burrow. I love how it looks, but it's way too expensive for me. I bought it. I've got it. It's sitting in my loft at the moment because I've got absolutely nowhere to put it. And I don't know what. Let me go and get this drawer full of tiles, and I'm going to bang on about Lego sets for a bit. Right, back. So yeah, I bought the new burrow, and I went on a bit of a spending spree because I had a bunch of birthday money, which I still get, which is lovely. So yeah, I bought the burrow, and I bought Durmstrang ship and the bow button carriage, and I bought the Hogwarts Great Hall, which is sitting beside me, currently torn to pieces. I bought a lot of these, and I started building some. Oh, potions classroom. I hadn't bought a load of bits from previously, so I bought them, and mean, it was a nice way to spend an hour putting the Great Hall together. But once I'd done it, it was like, now what? The scale of it is weird. When you look at the new Great Hall, it looks like you're looking at a micro scale build. It's like the proportions are great and they look really, the fidelity to the actual, the set, you know, the movie set, not the Lego set, is great. And the proportion is really good. It's tall, it's slim, but it's not minifigure scale. And you need that kind of chunkiness for a minifigure scale set. Well, I like my Lego to feel like Lego. No, the architecture sets and things are great, but once you've got a minifigure with it, it needs to feel, you know, right. I mean, that's not the size and shape of the Dark Arts classroom, but it feels like the Dark Arts classroom. Yeah? And so I put together the Great Hall, put together the dome strength ship, and that was a fun build, because that was lots of problem solving angles. Yeah, put them all together, and it's just like, I spent a lot of money on parts packs, is the way I felt about it afterwards, and minifigs. And to be honest, I get more excited hunting down the minifigs. That's how I attach the torso, at an angle. It's one of these tilt tables, poking through an arch. It's built just like a window. And you put one of these on at a slight angle, and he pokes through. But so yeah, I've got the burrow, and I spent a lot of money on it, and I got my gift of purchase, and I want to destroy those as well, because I know exactly how I want to use the 3 network bits. I kind of don't want to open the burrow now, so I'm just worried that I'm not going to enjoy it. I mean, there are some bits in there. There are some stickers in there and some little build tips that I really want to integrate into MOCs I've already made. Oh, have a little catch up on the chat, Andy. That's how I got Source Ranger. Right, I'm up to there. Yeah, I mean, if you do feel like giants on something, that's exactly how I felt about the Great Hall. I put them on there, and it's like, this looks like a, you know, micro scale build, and then I'm putting this blooming great minifigure. And on the outside, it looks so good as an architecture set. And then you turn it around on the inside, and it's the least worthy Great Hall I think I've ever seen. It's so poor. Like 1.5 dinner tables and a small shelf for the. Now, I may be talking out of turn, and it's all very well to criticise, but my Great Hall is not the greatest architectural construction. But you know, at least there's 4 tables for the students. Right, I think I've got it. Skiboosh. There we go. It's built up on his Blackboard again. Now this is going to be one of the removable sidewalls. It's going to go into my module. It's a bit flimsy. I might need to replace one of these 1x1s with a snot bracket sometime in the future, just to cut out some wobble. I have to do some maths and see what lines up. Anything? Nothing. Yeah, that's why I like the modular castle, because they were designed to work with the minifigs, and you know, and they look like playset, but when you put them together, oh, so good. And you know, you weren't stuck to. That's why the thing I like about this new castle system, if the buildings underneath and the potions classroom or anything to go by, it's gonna be a bit like my MOC now. It's going to be swappable. Things are going to be able to be moved around and put where you want them to go. But obviously everyone's replacing the Hufflepuff common room with the potions class and asking why the bathroom is in the basement and things like that. But these are modules that can be moved around. And if you look in the back of any of the new, I'm going to call that History of Magic done. If you look in the back of the new sets and look at their instructions, and you see the size of the grand staircase tower. I mean, it's blurred out, you can't see in the details, but it's huge. And if that's going to be a venue for classrooms, you're going to be able to fit so many things in there. And of course, Charms has been mentioned as one coming out next. Speaking of, here's mine. It's the Charms. So yeah, I think the new one's going to be fairly nice. You know, everyone can have a different Hogwarts whilst having exactly the same Hogwarts, if that makes any sense at all. You know, it all gets to be different. Okay, important bits and pieces about this module. The seats go all the way to on the first and 16th studs, so they're too wide. The back panels go all the way from 1 to 16, so they're too wide. So we're going to have to slim that down, or put this in a module that's got 2 removable walls, which I have on my first floor, specifically designed just in case. So that will solve the issue of fitting those in. But the question is going to be, how do I fit the seats in, which also go back? Well, the latest sets, all of them have a blurred out image, and I'm sure you could Google it and find a picture, or just go onto Lego and look at one of the instruction manuals. But yes, they show a blurred out image of the new castle. So I'm just dusting my mop. I didn't realise how shockingly covered with my old flesh this was. Yeah, they show you a blurred out image of the castle, and every time you add a new module, they put the unblurred version of it onto their picture. So it looks like, it appears, it's going to be the same bit of the castle as was in the micro scale Hogwarts. You get the Great Hall, the Grand Staircase Tower, the little bit of castle attached to that, the viaduct bridge, and then the viaduct entrance. And that looks like what they're giving us for this biggest Hogwarts castle ever. The scale looks really good, and it's comparable to the micro scale, and I hope it's going to have swappable modules on the inside for all these classrooms and everything. But yeah, it's probably twice as tall as the new Great Hall, looking at that image. And I'm assuming they've had this all designed and built for ages, and that's actually what it's going to be. Whether it's full of grand staircase or more classroom venues, it would be the obvious place to put Dumbledore's office if they built one. Right, let's solve this problem. So, I need to get up and across one that's easy with a 1 stud and then a 2 stud plate. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they work it out in the end. But, you know, the question is, am I going to buy it? Probably not, now that I've had this experience with the Great Hall and like there was no love. So yeah, that's what I'm wondering, whether it's going to be the bottom of the tower and the bit of castle that attaches to it, and that's going to be one thing, and then the top. Although, why would they sell half a tower? It's ridiculous. They'll just sell it as one big set and price any kids out in the market. It can't be fun to be young and not have disposable income. I mean, I'm old and don't have disposable income, and that's not fun either, but yeah, these sets are getting very pricey. Okay, let's get my heights the same. So I've got my brick in at the bottom. I'll get my windows in. So these are sitting like that. Okay, so I kind of need to build down from here rather than up. So that's how you look. How are we for height? Check the snake, who knows? Yep, still got a brick of height left to integrate across there. Now I do need to be careful because you only actually go up like 7, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bricks high. Ooh, this may not fit. I need to go down a little bit. So I need to put a tile layer at least on top for that end stud. Because, as I was saying with History of Magic, these sides go 8 studs. Oh look, now it's way too tall. It's going beyond the top there. so I'm going to need to troubleshoot this. Right, well it's simply going to have to go down. Might put one plate layer below just to raise it up. So these maybe, I'm doing this early because this will probably be one of the shortest lived classrooms in the new version of Hogwarts. Oh, where are all my plates? Lost all my plate. Yeah, this is how I stack my 1x4s, so I can see what colours I've got available. Pain in the bum if you want a pink one, but we can get to it. Do that. Let that be our height. So, I need to get some more reference. One moment. So this Ravenclaw, well it's not Ravenclaw obviously, but it's how I set the height to get Ravenclaw in the right place. So I know I can go down one brick's depth and they will be right in exactly the right position. The question is, do I want to put on side walls which will obscure that bit there, or leave it open? I think I'm going to leave it open because the students go all the way back. I just have to be careful because that will mean the back, that's not going to work, is it? The back of this will then be the side wall of charms, which will give the game, away. That's the Binder's magic trick. Oh, disaster. Okay. Do you know what? Charms is not a problem I want to solve right now. I'm not that bothered. Those big panels work great in the Hogwarts moment set, but they're a pain in my pickle trying to build them into another module. Let's go for something else. I'll tell you what, let's do Ravenclaw. Good. So, Ravenclaw. Obviously we're going to lose these side walls with the balconies and the light and airy feel, but we'll be able to keep most of the detail. Why do we need to do these balconies? Because obviously I'm going out here anyway. I can put a plate. Alright. Basically that's all I need to do. Mumble mumble. Alright, so I'm going to start transferring Ravenclaw across and see if we come across any logistical problems. So here on my mock-up, you can see from the base layer I've got to go up one, and that's where the tile layer is. So if I want to put in another tile plate to give it a side wall, I need to raise these windows up again. But oh no, okay. Oh right, they're raised up on here anyway, so that shouldn't be an issue. Start breaking down. Okay, so first thing we come across is this bookshelf built into the wall. So I may need to reintegrate that into the back, similar to the one in History of Magic that I did earlier. We'll cross that bridge in a moment. For now, I need to transfer the floor. Get all my best details off. Yes, so they're now both dark tan. So I bought a load of the Gryffindor Common Room sticker sheet from the Gryffindor House banner. So I had a bunch of extra stickers. So when I realised I didn't like the clear and I wanted to go dark tan because it matched the sticker much better, I had a couple more of these on order already by luck. so I just used one of my other stickers. So I have still got the glass panel with that sticker on it, lurking in one of my bits boxes somewhere, and there's a chance I may reuse the sticker somewhere else by transferring that also onto a dark tan one, or it may just end up being a write-off. But yeah, that's how I did it. I just spent my way out of the problem. Why is there something missing? Oh, stuck to the bottom of that armchair. Come off. Big plates. Yes. Solve a problem. 3 more minutes. A lot of these are just mocked up, these bases. I really haven't decided how I'm going to finish them. I need to finish the undersides, because having these just random rows of plates does occasionally cause conflict with the top of the row below. So I really want these to be of a single level. So I've got to decide how I'm going to do that and eventually get round to doing that. That's another one of those boring infrastructure tasks that you need to solve. Doesn't feel right, that was right. It's no use designing all of these and then finding out that the system is just far too clunky to bother using. I don't want to be building loads of displays and then never showing them, just because it's so much effort to move the modules in and out. So I'll definitely be taking that little extra time just to fill in the bottom of each of these modules, so that all of these move perfectly against each other. Alright, so that's our flooring done. Now hopefully this will all come away as one. I know. It's all set up. Build our fire back into the fireplace. It's a bit bougie, isn't it? Look at this solid gold fire. Back. What's this done? That feel right? That feels right. So, no, yeah, that feels good. Fire surround goes on. And these back in place. Fire guard back in place. Okay. Now we're cooking. Get our armchairs back in. Chessboard. The homework desk. Arena herself. So there we go. Rebuilding Ravenclaw is proceeding apace. I was really proud of this when I first built it. I really like the windshield design. Looks really nice, just frames up in between those two picture windows really nicely. He said, laying his own trumpet. There we go. So now we need to put our windows in. So the thing we know is we can't go across at this height. We we need to be at least one plate higher at this end. Now I'd quite like to put the balcony pieces back, and I'd like to have that pillar, because I do like my swanky clock. It comes from the Disney castle. What that is actually a placeholder for the founder's portrait, of which I want to get one in each common room. And the only one I'm missing so far is Gryffindor. So now that I've got a Ravenclaw one, I want to be able to put it on there, which would sit there, like that. So I'm going to have to build a sidewall. Oh, great. Which means I'm going to have to integrate it at the front here, which means something. Normally I'll go below this back tile, but I need to go above it because I need to leave that space clear for this rail system and the tiled off plate that's on top of it. So I've got to step down inside. I can go one across and one down. So what's going to interfere with my homework desk? Literally anything I do. So we'll push that in and go down there. Time for a redesign of the homework desk. Need empty space underneath because of these curly boys. By magic, fix my problem. Excellent. I need to go one up and one across in a way that is not too ugly. So I can hide it there. It's pretty there. Right, let's go find some one by ones. Look at that, dark blue. Nice. Few of them. I haven't got any 1x2s like that. I need my 1x2 blue drawer. Just a minute. Okay, it's not. Oh. Oh. 1x3 is good. Unbelievable. Not a single 1x2 dark blue. So the question is, do I go scrabbling around? Let's suck it up and get over it. Let's suck it up and get over it. Let's do it a different way. Right. Too taller than that base. Alright. I'm going to go ugly bits behind here for a minute. One plate and one tile. Let's see if this will do the job I want it to do. Kind of do the job I want. It's a bit of a weird tile there, but it's obscuring. casings a bit. How's your hunt for portraits going? Well, again, not being one to buy the new sets, I haven't got as many as I'd like. Pretty much every single one is available on Bricklink, but I knew that I was going to be buying this whack of sets because of the gift for purchase and various other reasons, so I didn't buy any on Bricklink. That's alright, that dark green's not bad actually, it obscures quite nicely in the shadows. I'll change it to black just to get it properly shadowed in. That does the job I wanted to, and even better, so put a can on the bottom. Yeah, there's loads available on Bricklink and they're easy to find. I could probably get a complete collection and have it already, but I wanted to give myself the fun of hunting. But the number of duplicates I've received, it's like Hagrid's hut, I've got 2 Slytherins. So many. Yes, there's a lot of duplicates, so it's not as much fun. Of course, they're only putting them in the Hogwarts set, so any other sets you want to get, like Diagon Alley sets, you're not going to get a portrait in. So it's not like the chocolate frog cards. They're only in selected purchases, so I'll probably end up going for the complete set bought from the seller on Bricklink. But for now, I want to let the price settle down a bit because they're still fairly new, so the price can be a little bit volatile. So once the market decides what it wants to pay for that kind of thing and the price settles down. Technical difficulty, am I on? Am I up and running? Oh, I think I'm back. Oh, brief technical difficulties. A little crash. Hey, we're back. Okay, so this needs to be a brick shallower than it is now. Both the 2 with the 1. Excellent, perfect height. That's what I want. I can add the other side in. Now hopefully this has matched the brick height of the original. Hopefully that's the way maths work, of course it has. The question is, have I gone too high? No, I'm at 7 brick. I think this is going to fit. If it doesn't, I'm going to go into the corner, have a little cry, and then come up with a solution. For now we're looking good. That's going to be too tall now. Yeah. Got to find another collection of 1x. What didn't I bring? 1x1s. Wrong one. A week ago, this drawer was full of tan 1x1s and medium nougat 1x1s. Now it's just virtually empty. Half of them aren't even the right thing. Look, it's not even a Lego piece. It's a random thing. I must have robbed my kids at some point. I've got some 1x3s in my bag of doom, but I don't want to stand here for 20 minutes scraping around trying to find one. I'll just build it out of these and I can always replace it. I spend some time doing little housekeeping days where I have to rectify my own laziness. Various times I've gone, but this is not going to work. I can't do this. Just realised. I can't do it this way because the module, the slide that I can enter is just going to accommodate this, because there is a top coming out at about this height. I should have realised I can't do that. I can do it if I cut it off here, but that would look ridiculous. I suppose I could use an arch and make that a low. Alright, all may not be lost. I've just got to remember that this is my build height for the side walls. Professor, what's his chops can tell me? Oh, I made a terrible error here. Yeah, it's gone too high. I'm gonna. Okay. All right. Hang on. Hold up. I'm too tall, which means I need to go around that corner in one brick instead of 2 bricks, which means I need a plate version of this boy here. Which means the trouble is I haven't got one this I have. So once I get round the corner, I'll be fine. I can add stability on both sides of this brick. I just need to be down one there. This is more trouble than I thought it was going to be, but I think I can solve it. I really don't want to redesign the Ravenclaw corner because I really like this design. I think we are down now to the height that I want to do. Let's see if this will tell me. So let's start at build layer. Excellent. So that height is just right to slide under there, so I can put a tile on top of there, and that will exactly fit. Good. Solved the problem that I thought I was going to have. Okay, that was a little bit tricky. Natural. So it's made, some things a little uncomfortable as far as evening up heights go. But, well, these all appear to have an extra plate in them. I can just take that out and that'll match that. Bonza. That's handy. Right, now we've got to solve this problem on the other side. So what have I done? 4x5. Which 1x2? I think I might call the stream after I've completed this Ravenclaw build. This is a lot of the same for you guys to watch, me just babbling away and try and solve problems of my own creation. A lot of things that I should have thought about with this MOC before I started tearing the whole thing apart. I think having to resolve all these problems was part of the appeal I saw in doing this build in the first place. It's one of the best things about Lego is building and rebuilding. I love solving these problems, but only if they're solvable. I hate being faced with a problem that I can't solve. The main problem that I can't solve is reversing stud direction, anti-stud to anti-stud within the width of a brick. I want anti-studs that way, anti-studs that way, inside the width of a brick, so that the anti-studs are flush on that side and flush on that side. And I can't do it. There's a Mega Blocks piece, I think, that allows me to do that stud to stud, but nothing will allow me to do anti-slip. Don't ask me why I'm going to do it. Just because it's because I don't have to solve other problems then. I can just use that to solve the problems I believe myself to have. But that's a part I really want. That's going to have to change. But if a problem's solvable, I like to work out how I'm going to solve it. That's one of the more fun elements of this. And when I say a problem, what I generally mean is my personal taste does not match Legos, so the set they brought out is leaving me feeling grumpy. So when I say I've got problems that need solving, what I mean is I'm not satisfied. I want what I want. So I have to do it myself. So now I need to go on top of this black stud here. I think there's probably a black one by two. Now I'm going to stick with this dark brown just for that. It's fairly hidden away there, you can't really see it. It would mean going and getting another box. So now I need to span 7 studs across this way to build my wall. Right. You know, sometimes another problem I'd like to solve is a 7 stud long plate. Can't really complain, we've got 5 studs. But I find myself building in more and more odd numbers. Anyone popping into this when this is not a live video and this is just up on the site, if you've got this far, congratulations. An hour and a half in, I'm still babbling. But there will probably be an edited highlights of this you can find. It's just, the interesting bits and not me failing over again. Hi, Happy Egg. Nice to see you. Coming at just the right time. Don't know why that's true, but it feels true. I'm just trying to finish up my Ravenclaw MOC before I take a bit of a break. Okay, so that solved the issue of the height that we had here and the depth that we had here. We haven't quite solved the length issue because I want to go out to the end, but we can do that. How am I going to do that? Right, let's do like this. Oh no, maybe that was my placeholder for Ravenclaw. Oh, it means I get to keep my fancy clock. Oh, how wonderful. Yay. Now, this can only go down to that one. So, fancy clock's got to go up there. Don't need that anymore. I've got a wall to support. That. Yeah, more of a window than a balcony. Check the height differential. What? Plate, rather. 1 by 2. Yeah, that's at the level. Because these have got to go in the slide. Studs don't conflict with the top of the sliding portion. I've got to build the other half of the arch, which is I'm not going to relieve the pressure, or I'm not going to be able to relieve the friction pressure on this side, but it's only ever going to sit in the front, so that's not an issue. Great. Oh, that's good. So a problem that I've had with other modules is as they slide under each other, it creates a lot of friction in this corner. If you think you're on 1, 2, quite a lot of sides of pressure. Good. Right, let's replicate this on the other side. So, it's going to be a bit of an issue with the chair and stuff. Gone around the corner already. Do I build it into the armchair? I think I do. I think that might be the way forward. So now I need to be one up. What did I do? Floor plate level. I'm going to build on top of the floor plate level. On top of the floor plate level is my chair level. So, what should we do? Chair. Okay, so chair rebuilt with some sticky out bits, excuse me. Now I can lay my 1x6. It's almost as if I know what I'm doing. Down and across. Stuff scattered everywhere and I haven't known where I've left it last. Taking me a moment to find things. Goes in there. So how we're going to go across into this side. Now I wasn't paying attention right through all these parts across the room. So this is going to be where my Ravenclaw statue portrait is. Sorry, I've gone deeply into mumble mode. I'm not presenting a very public voice to this activity. Unfortunately, when I engage my brain, my mouth stops working. So I don't use up all my bandwidth talking about nonsense. Okay. There's a second balcony in. So now I should be. Right. Okay. I see what I've done. So I need my arch to go there, so I can only use one stud of snot to hold this on, or I have to go I built Ravenclaw common room. I've been missing since the start. When I did my tiny common rooms and they didn't really have any character, they were just, you know, a colourful chair and a fireplace. Well, I mean, what more is this really? It's a colourful chair and a fireplace. But I really wanted to give it some character, and it didn't really get a lot of characterisation in the movies. It didn't even get much description in the books. But then I did want it to kind of match the house banner, because although they were a little weak of a release, I did like them. I was not a hater on the house banners, and if I was initially in my review video, which I don't remember doing, but I may have been, that state of mind did not persist. I ended up really liking the house banners as sets. They were very clever. Could have been a bit. I think that's what I'm reduced to now. I can't use a technique so I can see three sides of it. No. Can't use dark tan, it's not in the colour scheme. Oh, a couple of nuggies. There we go. Yeah, I really wanted to replicate that lenticular background that they did in the set. And when I first built this, I didn't realise I had. I thought I'd been very clever and designed all my own stuff. It was a completely original idea. And then when I went back to the lenticular backdrop, I realised, oh no, you did what you intended to do, you just didn't know what you'd done it. Here we go, we are drawing on the finish line of Ravenclaw common room. Just got to tack this side together. Just need to tile off this top piece, and I think we are done. Shall I do the thing? I think I'll do the thing. So all that remains is to say thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave us a like. And for more Hogwarts MOC builds, please subscribe to Bricknow. Bye bye. And that's where I'd end it. But I don't know what button to press at the exact right time to make that really cool. So I'm just going to babble here for a moment. I kind of wanted to end it and put that last piece in, but I misjudged that time, and that was shocking production. And if there's any video production critics here, please excuse my faux pas. Like that. Pretend I didn't say it like that. There we go. What's this? Subscribe to Bricknow. Bye bye. And cut on the edited version, that will definitely be cut. Alright, that's the end of our stream. We're all done. Thanks for joining me. I've had some highs and lows on building these. I'm now going to fit them all into castle. We'll be taking some footage, and you'll be seeing that in the fullness of the time in the next Vlogwarts. Hope this wasn't too much of a waste of an hour and a half of your life, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.